97. Oh my gosh, it's always good to see my fan Mario.
Already. What's up, Nessa?
Man?
What's going on?
How you been?
I've been amazing.
Okay, so I Need More is the single.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is off Paradise Cove.
Paradise Cove, yes.
Okay, because there was like so many different things that were happening. We thought there was going to be another album,
Yeah.
Restoration.
Well, yeah, that was actually going to be a mixtape. I did a whole album when I was on the last label I was on.
Okay.
And that project will never see the light of day because I'm not on that label anymore. I got my own label now. So that
You decided
project,
to become independent.
Yeah.
I like it.
New citizen. So, but I have like a catalog of over, man, I would say like 700 records that will probably never see the light of day. But I'm okay with it because I'm really excited about the new music that I'm making right now. You know, I feel like it's current. You know, it's current with who I am in my life right now, but it's also current production-wise and just with the way I wanted to go with music.
Now, how hard was it to get off the label? What was that situation like? Because, you know, we always hear these horror stories with artists being like, oh, they're trapped, they can't get out. Or was it like pretty decent?
I think it wasn't really hard. It was just a timing thing. You know what I'm saying? It took longer than I would wanted to take. It took like 2 years. But as far as difficulty,
2 years?
yeah.
Why does it take so long?
I mean, there's lawyers going back and forth. You know, it's just a lot. You know, and labels like these days, they sign so many artists. You know, there's a lot of traffic over there. So, you know, it took a while to really funnel through the system, like everything else does when you're dealing with a major.
Right.
So I'm really blessed to have had that experience. But, you know, just as they have grown and changed a lot, I thought it was time for me to grow and do my own thing.
And now we have your own independent label.
Yes.
And now we're going to have Paradise Cove when?
I don't want to say exact date because when I give my fans a date, I want to stick to the date.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I love seeing growth. You know, for us being in this industry, it's like so important that we see artists grow. And the fact that you've decided to become independent, I'm really happy.
Thank you, Nessa. I appreciate you.
I feel like the independent hustle is where the money's at.
Definitely is. But I mean, you know, you gotta spend money to make money. But I think overall, I've learned so much, and I've made enough mistakes to use them as references moving forward. You know, in my life personally and business. So I just feel excited about the new artists that I'm signing, about my project, about just the endeavors that are coming along with just outside of music that I'm doing in other places out the country. Like, so it's just a beautiful time for anybody who bossing up for real.
Who are you signing? So is this something that you're really excited about?
I got an artist in Korea I'm looking at right now.
Wow.
Yeah. Nothing's inked yet, but it's looking really good. So it's a Korean female solo artist, and I also got a young lady here in the U.S. She's about 17 years old, super, super talented that I'm looking at as well.
So how are you finding these artists? Is this just something like you're online, your people are telling you? Is it whispers? How does this process work if someone wants to get discovered by you?
Some of the artists like come to shows. I'll meet them out. I see them online. People will reach out to me through my social media. Like, it's just this particular artist came to one of my events that I did in D.C. and I was wowed by the talent I saw. And it wasn't just her talent, though. It was her spirit.
Yeah.
It was the fact that she was 17, but she knew who she was already and who she wanted to be. And I saw this light within her. Because I'm always, like, the whole concept behind New Citizen is the creative God within yourself.
Right.
And developing that part of yourself. Because I feel like we all have the potential for greatness and creativity. So when we trust in ourselves and we trust that ability, we can reach creative heights unimaginable. So I'm always looking for people or, you know, artists. I'm looking for artists who have that type of perspective.
What do you think about R&B right now? You know, you've been in the game for a while. So I feel like you have a real good perspective on how things are. Like, do you feel like, okay, the cycle's good, you're waiting for it to come back a certain way, you want to see more of certain talents? How do you feel about it?
I think that sonically R&B has been out of whack for a long time. You know, for those who grew up in the late 90s and the early 90s and the early 2000s, of course, we hear R&B on a different level. I grew up listening to Joe, R. Kelly, Boyz II Men, you know what I'm saying, Usher, like.
Right.
So, but now it's like, because it has changed and technology and the web has given people access to all types of different types of music, it's like, you know, programming has changed. And because programming has changed, it's changed the type of music that the masses are listening to. But generally speaking, I think I like a lot of the artists that's out right now. I like Drake. I like Bryson. I like Party Next Door. I like The Weeknd. I like Trey, Chris. I respect, all
Yeah.
of it. But I think what's missing is Mario.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what I would offer to it. So
Why do you think that is? Because I feel like maybe you are the underdog, right? And even though you've had such a great career, it's like still
I think
you
that
still
that
want
word-
more.
Absolutely. It's never enough, right? But I think that the absence is what makes it seem as though. But I don't feel like an underdog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like I just have a different purpose, and it's not just involving music. I think that my music has more meaning behind it, and it's not. Even though I need more, it's trendy and sonically.
You're right.
The message is deeper. My music is always, I feel like, has had a deeper meaning to it, and this was like, a Mario record when you hear it, it's more
Right.
distinctive. So that's the quality that I want to keep for this project. But I do like and enjoy the communication that I see these artists having with their fans. Like, I think the approach that a lot of hip hop artists are having is an R&B approach. In terms of like, if you just sit down and read the lyrics, you would think it was an R&B song.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But
yes,
it's a hip hop record, which is
crazy,
cool.
right?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I think it's creative, and I think that it's cool, man. I think, listen, everything is what it is. I mean, if you look at quality control across the board,
Right.
foods, music, whatever it is, a lot of things are just quick. It's like,
It's a very microwave. Very
so
microwave.
that's what makes true artists stand out. So,
Yeah.
we got to appreciate that too.
Do you get tired of the industry at this point? Because you've just been in it for so long. You just love this, don't you?
I don't get tired of creating. What gets a little frustrating is the business side of things.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? That gets frustrating. And now being in the driver's seat, it gets even more frustrating. But, I'm prepared for it, and I think I'm bred for it. So
Yeah.
it's different because once you can balance your personal life and you have that together, it makes everything else easier. The hardest part, though, I would say, is balancing out the logical and creative side of the brain.
Yeah.
Because being on calls all day or conference calls and handling things
It's so
business-wise,
terrible.
right?
Isn't it the worst
Right?
ever?
And then having to go to a session at 6 p.m. You
Ugh.
got to completely switch your creative because, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
male and female side is tough.
It is.
You know what I mean? So that's probably the hardest part.
Business sucks. Politics suck.
Politics sucks. But
Politics really do suck. I feel like it ruins creativity always. In any really industry. It's always
Yeah.
the politics that I feel hurts things the most. So what was the situation with Rico Love and the album and you guys were working on? Is that all? Was that part of what was on the label and not happening?
they own all those records. Yeah.
so there wasn't a falling out with you and Rico?
Nah, me and Rico never had no issues.
Okay.
Never that.
Gosh.
Shout out to Rico, man.
How many songs? I'm just curious.
Like I said, at least in the catalog since I've started with them, I probably have over 500-600 songs at least. Yeah, easy. If you go on YouTube and type in, I'm not telling y'all to do this.
Yeah.
Focus on the new single. I Need More. It's
Yeah.
out right now. But if you were to go on YouTube and type in my name, you'll see just records. Some records
Oh,
got
yeah.
a
Of
million
course.
views. Some got 2. Some got 200,000. Like, it's just, and I'll go like perform in, like, there's records I have out in Europe
Yeah.
that never came out here. Like, I got a record called Stuttering that came out in Europe. It's a huge record in Europe, Australia, all those places, but no one knows it here.
Do you feel that places outside of America appreciate the culture more?
I think they're more receptive to whatever lane you're in, like R&B. I feel like they're more receptive to R&B. I feel like they're more receptive to, the classic vibes of R&B. They're more loyal in a sense of, like, for instance, here, like I said before, in the U.S., with any brand, it doesn't matter. Like, this
Yes.
country is built on,
Brands.
branding. So after 3-4 months, it's on to the next, right?
Uh-huh.
There, I can go there and make way more money than I can make here.
Yeah.
At this point right now, until it's like, okay, then you got music on the charts, then it's like the numbers go back up. It's just a different type of culture, when
Yeah.
it comes to music, but they're definitely more receptive.
I feel your energy is so grown. I really do. I'm really proud of you, man. You look
Thank you.
very happy and you love music. Nothing's changed in that department.
True.
How's your mom doing?
She's good. Thank you for asking. She's amazing. She's
That's
doing
great.
better.
I was a bit concerned when, I'm sure you saw those reports about you guys having a falling out situation. You guys worked through that. You posted a picture of her on Instagram.
Yeah,
recently. She looks great.
Yeah, I saw her during the holidays.
Oh, that's sweet.
We don't live like together anymore.
Yeah.
She lives somewhere else. I live somewhere else. I thought it was important for us to both step out and kind of live our own lives. I had a different focus and a different passion. I wanted to move forward. So, and she's doing the same, and I'm proud of her, the steps that she's taking.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I think it's important as an artist for us to hear that side, because it makes you a human being. It makes you touch with fans differently than,
Absolutely.
Oh, he's just a performer. He's had it easy because he's a superstar.
It's very true.
And it's
very
like,
true.
No, we go through pain. Like,
Everybody does. Absolutely. And for anybody who's, who has a family member that they're working through things with in a tough way like that, man, it's sometimes it's those things that help you to build your character.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's those things that make you stronger. And, it's family. You'll never not love them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They get on your nerves, but it's all right. It's family, right?
Hey, man, everybody I'm telling you, like, growing up in Boston, like, I want to do a TV show about my family, like, growing up. Because it was, like, 18 of us living in one house. You know what I'm saying?
18?
Like a 2.5, 3-bedroom. Yeah, it was a lot of us. So it was, like, aunts, uncles, you know what I'm saying? Like, their
18.
kids. It was a lot of us. Yeah, my grandmother took care of the kid. She was, like, Big Mama for real. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy, so I saw everything, from, like... Because we lived in Edmondson Village, so I saw, like, in the alley, you saw everything. You saw fiends, you saw drugs, you saw gun violence, like everything. But then you also, my grandma, they would always have parties.
Yeah.
And I used to go out and party. They was playing, it was crazy, man. I got a little bit of everything growing up, and I appreciate it all.
Yeah, we need to see that. That's the stuff we want to see you go into that.
For sure.
Get into some producing. What's going on? So you said you're going to be doing more than just music.
Yeah, so I'm writing a book right now as well.
Okay.
Called Life in Exchange. And I just started like 6 months ago. I'm not sure exactly when it's coming out, but I always speak things into existence. And I think that is something that is going to be good for, like, especially the younger generation when it comes to balancing out, like, your personal and spiritual life. And I kind of talk about how I've done it, being a young artist. And then movie-wise, I'm working on a few things. Like, I'm developing some things. I'm always reading for different films, but
that's great.
It's not a lot of roles out there for young black men. Like, and those who do get, I would rather someone who does that every day to get that role.
Wow, that's rare for someone to say that.
I would love to, but it's like, it's not a lot of roles out there. But definitely working, for sure.
That was probably the most humble thing I've heard, because usually people want it all.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to, but if there is something, what I'm saying is there's a lot. I read for a lot of different films, right? But there's such a small pocket that obviously someone who does this every day will get the job,
Yeah.
So
that makes sense to me. So what's going on with the love life?
I love life.
Are you in a relationship?
Nah, I'm dating right now. I was dating someone, for a while,
and then that didn't work.
I mean, it did work. I felt like it was very successful. Every relationship that I've had has been, like, great for both of us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Except one that was pretty.
There's always that one.
That was pretty public, and that one I probably regret it a little bit. But other than that, yeah.
Oh, it's so good to catch up with you. So right now, are you dating freely? So people,
I'm dating freely. I mean, when I do have time, I date freely, but. I enjoy. Like, sometimes I like to just go out and have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And
it does not sound like you want to settle down. Just so you know.
Nah, I'm not ready to settle down just yet.
At least you're honest now.
Not right now. Nah.
Okay.
Not yet. It's crazy though, because sometimes when I'm in, like, I was just where was I just at? I was just in Australia, and I was touring or whatever, and then. I went to New Zealand, and I was in New Zealand. I went there for a few days, and I was there by myself. Me, my DJ, a few of my dancers, like, whatever. But it gets lonely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, traveling the world and those type of things. So those are the moments where I'm like, but then when I'm, like, constantly grinding and I can't be steadily on my phone or answer and I might be off the grid for, like, 2 weeks. Like, no girl gonna put up with that right now, unless she's doing what I do, maybe,
then
I don't know.
maybe.
Maybe.
But at least you're honest, though, because there's so
Yeah.
many guys out there who are like, yeah, I would love to be in a relationship. But it's like, no, you don't.
Yeah, I went through that already, so I'm not trying to put another woman through that. You know what I'm
At
saying?
least you're
I went through that.
honest, man.
I ain't trying to create no more karma. You feel me? I did all that already.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now we get to hear it in your music.
Yeah, but you engaged, right?
No, not engaged yet. I feel
okay.
it feels like it, but no, we're not. But I'm in a great relationship.
That's
I'm so
amazing.
happy. When you come across good people in life, you just got to keep them. Do you know?
I agree. And it's not always about you saying, because I meet a lot of great women in general, and I meet a lot of beautiful women that have the amazing potential, and I'm like, yo, like but it's not always about saying, oh, that's my girl, or
Right.
sometimes you're just gonna have pretty women that's just good friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you can still learn a lot through your female friends as well, and male friends as well.
Absolutely.
So,
Just know, though, whoever you end up with is not going to be okay with you having a lot of pretty female friends around.
that's not true. It depends on the woman.
She'll maybe a couple of them, but a lot of them is like.
I get what you're saying, but I think that a woman would rather you have a lot of female friends than have one or two or three that's like pretty and like. I think a girl would rather you hang out with more than one chick. You know what I'm saying? Like
On,
then, yeah, like
then
it's
that
like
one who's your best
then you
friend.
might get too close. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like
A lot of acquaintances, like cool, like we cool, we kick it, let's go out.
But what you doing? Who's that in the background? Oh yeah, she just came over to cook something real. Like nah,
Yo,
like
wait, those are
that's
fighting
not
words.
happening.
That's not.
I mean, if you know somebody, let me know. If
no,
you know her, where she at?
No, I'm not gonna do that. I want you to settle down one of these
You want me to
days
settle down?
with someone really nice.
Really nice.
Someone really nice.
You
It's
know-
gonna
you got
happen
any
one day.
Candidates?
What's that?
I'm just saying, we in the U.S., man. It's tough out here.
It is.
It's
That's
crazy.
the problem because there's too much access to things.
I've seen too much. You know what I'm saying?
I
done
feel like
seen
you're
a lot.
never gonna settle down now. The way you're talking
Nah,
about
that's
it.
not true.
Okay.
I just think that, as I'm growing and as I'm continuing to build my character, because I feel like that's something that, you want to kind of have yourself intact before you go and give yourself to somebody else. And I don't think it's
Absolutely.
ever giving yourself. I think it's sharing.
I agree. It's sharing.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I would want to find somebody who's on my level, in terms of the balance. Oh, and that's pretty much that's what I look for in a woman now. Before it was just like, she pretty, I got a little fatty, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, real, woo. It's like, yo, we can get down.
Now
but now
it's
it's like, hold on.
balance.
Now it's like, all right, she got to have that. But then this got to be right. This got to be right.
You talking that
You feel
talk
me?
right now.
Because I'm the king, you the queen.
Yeah.
I got to go out here. And so when I come home, I want to make sure that is, you feel
At
me?
peace.
You know what I mean? So
As someone who understands what you do, you love music, which is why, I'm really happy to see you out here being independent.
yeah. Yeah.
I Need More is a single.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can't give us a date for Paradise Cove, but it is going to be out this year.
Yeah, it's out this year for sure.
Okay.
It's out this year. Man, listen, that's coming out this year, 100%. 100%. I'm excited. But I want you to come. When you're on the West Coast again, let me know because I'm recording out there.
I'm out there pretty often for
I would
filming.
love for you to come through and play some records.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What are we
Let
going
you
to hear
catch the vibe.
people on it? Like, can you tell us any info about the
Right.
actual project?
Right now, I'm putting together the guts and the glory of the project, and then I'm gonna play it for different artists and kind of the ones I want to work with and kind of see, where they feel like they fit. Because I want it to be organic. Like that's the most important thing. I feel like I want the project itself to have an organic vibe. That's what Paradise Cove represents. When I think about Paradise, I think about a place where all of your desires live. And you can have anything you want in this place, right? But when I think about Cove, I think about a place where you go to deal with everything, all your temptations, all of the things you went through, all of this stuff. And when you put those two together, it's like liberation.
Yeah.
You've dealt with certain parts of yourself, but now you're ready to walk into your blessing, walk into your paradise. So that's what it represents. So on this project, I'm just like, I'm talking about a little bit of everything.
Any wish lists of people you want to work with?
It's too crazy long. And then
Give
some
me
of them
your
don't
top
even make
three,
sense.
not for this album, but in
Yeah.
general. If in your career,
Beyonce.
Okay.
Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. Those are two great ones.
Oh man, I don't know. The third one is like, I
I'll
don't
give
know.
you
The third
4.
one's tough. Oh, you give me 4? All right. B, Kendrick, Brandy,
Okay. Nice.
and Kanye. No, for real. Nah, no. One or two. One or two. It's between Ye and Pharrell.
It's, okay,
Yeah.
so we get a halvesies.
And I've worked with Pharrell before, but I've never done a collaboration with him.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel
sure.
like it's going to happen for you. You're too talented. You've
Thank
been
you.
doing this. You're just that guy.
And then whatever new artist that's just amazing, man. That's just, you know what I mean?
Do you get
What's
excited
another-
for the new artists when you see them out here? When you're just like, good.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I get excited because I feel like you never know what the next. I feel like you never know because a lot of times when we hear music, it's music that an artist recorded like a year before.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you never know where they're at in that particular moment. So I always get excited to hear or to meet artists in person and talk to them about like where they're actually at and see what type of vibes they be on. You know, just even outside of music, like it's interesting to know the artist behind the music.
So right now, where are you at in comparison to Paradise Cove? Do you feel like it's reflecting more of last year's?
I'm trying to keep it super
current.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And it's tough because every day I'm learning something new. But because I'm not finished, I would say that it's current. You know, I'm like 80% done. But when I can sit down for like another month, which is really hard right now, and really finish out, that's what I'm gonna do. But right now I'm on promo, so yeah.
Discipline. It's so hard. It really is
crazy,
hard.
but I love
And you're
it.
the boss now. So it's like you said, it's like difficult.
Yeah, I love
You
it,
don't
though.
have time for love right now.
You went back to the.
Listen,
have
your
time for
fans want to
love.
know. They're
I do.
curious.
I always have time for love. You know,
For one
I don't
love,
feel
that
like,
is.
but I don't feel like it shouldn't be conditional. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like someone can grow with you. It doesn't
I
have
agree.
to be like, okay, I just met this girl, I need to wife her tomorrow. No, it's like I met her, and I'm getting to know her, and we'll see what happens. You know, we gotta see how it go.
So on the show that I'm part of, MTV Girl Code, these are the things we say stay away from. When you hear a guy say, hey, let's just grow together.
That's not true. Like it depends on the
Yeah.
character of the man you're dealing with.
That is true.
You gotta know that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I think the problem is in this country we're so shallow.
Yeah.
A lot of times,
Yeah.
you know, we go for okay, what does he do? How much money he making? How does he look? Who is his friends? What hard? Instead of going for, you know, and those are the women who get in these situations and they look up and it's like, oh, he's a manhole. Well,
Yeah.
that's what you attracted. That's what you went for. Well, anyway, you know, instead of looking at the spirit and the aura and the intentions and the character of a person,
Right.
if we start there first, then you would have a different outcome because you'd probably attract something different for yourself.
What do you think men do? We're talking about the shallow men, not like obviously not all men are
I
bad.
mean, it's obvious. Just go for the fat ass, big titties, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Very vain.
you know, but at the same time, that's not wrong. I don't think it's wrong to want, but I think it's different for men. But I think for me, it's deeper than that. I need more than that because eventually that's gonna fade. It's gonna fade, especially if it ain't real. No shot out to any girls who ain't got it. It is what it is. But what I'm trying to say is it's deeper than just the physical. Although we're human. I love flesh.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to become less attracted to the flesh and more attracted to the spirit and the aura of a person.